million during his career as a pro boxer. By April,
$40 million, bro. Like, that is so much money. How do you blow that money? You gotta, like, how do you blow that money?
April of 2026, he didn't even have enough to take an Uber home. Following a devastating loss that shattered his ego, Adrien threw away his chance to reclaim his status in favor of an alternate reality. One where he began chewing through his money on first-class flights, gambling losses, child support payments, and legal fees for his sex crimes. It seemed like he was destined to remain a has-been, until he started live streaming. It offered him an opportunity to reclaim his place in the culture and get back some of the respect he lost. But with every passing day, he only brings himself even lower.
I'm really him, bro.
Since he was about 4 years old, Adrien Broner remembers having gloves on and boxing his brothers in their backyard. Their father pushed boxing training very hard onto his kids so that they'd stay off the streets and out of jail.
What do you think you guys would be doing if you weren't here in the gym boxing?
A lot of bad things.
Like what?
Trying to rob people,
Oh my God.
cars.
Oh my God.
According to Adrien, he had his first amateur fight at 8.
Even when he's younger, you know, a youngin', he was like, bro, who says that, you know, as a young, like, he's like a baby, bro.
8 years old. And although he had a promising career ahead of him, he admits that boxing still wasn't enough to totally keep him out of trouble. When he was just 17 years old, he was briefly facing nearly 60 years in prison.
What exactly led up to you facing 57 years?
A lot of felonious assaults, robberies, and gun specifications, and just a lot.
This obviously could have ended his career entirely and had him in jail until his elderly years. But thankfully for him, the charges didn't stick, and he was able to pick up his career as soon as he got out. Before he was even 18 years old, he had amassed 300 wins as an amateur boxer, stacked.
That is just a crazy record. Oh, I'll be honest. 300 of anything and then winning is crazy. That's like saying I went to the gym 300 times and hit my PR and beat it. And I beat my gym PR. Bro, I don't even think I've ever been to the gym 300 times. And he's like hitting a PR 300 times. You know, like that's just crazy to see that kind of record and that volume. It's insane. I could be wrong, but it feels like he's fought more than he's sparred. Like, geez, bro, 300 amateur record wins, and we're talking about wins. I don't like I ran, right? Like I would run to get in shape, bro. I don't think I've ever ran 300 times. I don't even think I've ever hit the gym 300 times. So I don't think if you combine the two, hitting the gym and running, I don't think I've done both 300 times, and he's won. Amateur fights 300 times. Just like let that sink in, bro. Like the like where he's at, you know what I mean? Like that level. It's just crazy.
Against only 19 losses. So as soon as he was legally an adult, it was no surprise.
Plus that percentage-wise is crazy. 19 losses only.
Is that he went pro.
If there's one rising young American fighter who might be expected to command the spotlight for the next couple of years and perhaps into the future, he's 23-year-old Adrien Broner of Cincinnati, Ohio.
By the time AB was beginning his journey as a boxer, Floyd Mayweather, his idol, was already a massive name, and AB largely modeled his persona after him. Adrian's self-appointed first nickname was The Problem, something nobody argued with at the time due to the considerable threat he posed in the ring. But he also started going by About Billions, a reference to Floyd's Money Mayweather nickname, which
About Billions, I think, is a spit like it's like, you know, about his name, Adrien Broner, AB.
He had been going by since 2007. This, along with all of the other money-centric antics from later on in his career, got AB widely recognized by boxing media as the heir of Floyd Mayweather. Not only because he was a great fighter, but also because of his bravado of invincibility, where people tuned in just to see if anyone could defeat him. The two also became good friends, with Floyd serving as somewhat of a mentor for Adrien during some of the toughest moments of his career.
Weird. I need a Diet Coke. Floyd is always involved in these top stars.
career. Now, it's
seen him there.
extremely ironic that both Floyd and Adrian
shows like he's
eventually
really
came to
involved, you know?
suffer from serious financial issues, but regardless, his ambition to be like Floyd came to fruition pretty quickly, as in 2011, he won his first major world title. This was immediately followed by an impressive multi-divisional run in which he also won titles in 3 different weight classes. Given how far he's fallen now, it may be difficult to see his past clearly, but Adrien Broner was seriously a great boxer, and many thought that he would be the future of the sport, carrying on the Mayweather dynasty in a sense. In his own words,
If you don't got a friend like this, bro, do you really got a friend, bro? This man's combing his hair after a fight.
"You can't box forever. I'm young, and I plan on becoming champion and retiring early so I can pursue a career in entertainment," citing Lil Wayne, Meek Mill, Jay-Z, and himself as his favorite artist.
entertainment.
Colorful as he is dangerous, Adrien Broner may very well be the adrenaline shot that boxing needs in order to survive after the Mayweather-Pacquiao era ends. In 2013, he began posting vlogs documenting his life as an elite boxer, and some of them got well over 1 million views,
Bruh.
with one video he did with Gervonta Davis getting over 3 million. Nowadays, it's basically the norm that every athlete is constantly posting on Instagram, and a lot of them even have YouTube channels. But AB was a bit ahead of the curve on this, clearly recognizing that having a more engaged fan base would benefit the momentum of his career. Despite his vlogs performing really well, even after the peak of popularity for that format was long gone, he would just straight up not post any content for
looks like
long
50 Cent.
periods of time. And by watching the videos that are available, it's pretty obvious why. Most of these videos have nothing to do with training. It's just him buying things, hanging out with his friends, and other random stuff from his life. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it seems like he was more interested in the appearance of being rich than doing the one thing that actually made him money: training. It's estimated that during his
definitely
career,
was training,
Adrien
but-
made roughly $30 to $40 million. Although
slowed
if you
down
asked
when you
him,
got
he
that
wouldn't
money.
be able to give you a rough figure. He usually just gave his checks straight to his mom because she was managing his bank account at that time. She must not have done a very good job, given he spent millions flying around the world in first class, staying at 5-star hotels, clubbing, renting out expensive cars, and on top of all of that, he also gambled amounts of up to $250,000 at a single time. Adrien once took 18 of his friends to Miami for the weekend and spent over $1 million by the time they flew home. He was making so much per fight that he just got away with that kind of spending. But the consequences of his lifestyle went beyond just the financial. At the
crazy.
same time that AB showed himself capable of reaching the highest highs, the writing was also on the wall that he was equally capable of falling to the lowest lows. As I previously noted, before his boxing career ever took off, he had already been arrested and was facing over half a century in prison time. Although he was just 17 years old when he was facing that case, it nevertheless showed
Bro.
that without
You spend $1 million on a weekend. We see people on YouTube buy jets for like 3 million, 2 million. Like he could have put a down payment on a jet. It's crazy.
Without discipline, he could resort to self-destructive activity. In March of 2013, in the middle of his
Yeah,
undefeated
that's
winning
terrible.
streak, AB was arrested at a hotel. Apparently,
5'8".
there was a fight happening around 3 a.m. in the lobby, and when security was called to break it up, Adrien decided to bite, yes, actually bite one guard
Mike
on the
Tyson
forearm.
method.
The bond was just $1,500, so obviously he bailed out instantly with no issue, since at this time he was making so much money, he was literally ripping dollar bills up and flushing them down the toilet to flex.
that's
For the
stupid.
time being, AB going Miami zombie mode on a police officer wasn't enough to end his career, so he went back to using his fists instead of his teeth. A few months after his arrest, he fought Paulie Malignaggi for the welterweight title, and in his victory speech, he bragged
won.
that he took Paulie's title as well as his girl.
I beat Polly. I left with his belt and his girl.
I can't remember this when it happened.
Adrien
I was
bragged
like
that he was having relations with
too
Paulie's
young
girl
to be
all
like
throughout
into this
fight
stuff,
week,
bro.
although Paulie claims she was just one of the many girls he was with.
Wait, but don't brag about taking my side piece. Don't brag about taking my side piece.
He was mad hurt.
He not only stated that in the ring, but he also felt the need to respond after the fact and make sure everyone knew she was not his girl, she was just his side piece.
Paulie, you spoke about being a better looking guy than Adrien Broner, but he stole your girlfriend
No,
Jessica.
but he didn't. That's the thing. That was
As
Yo,
entertaining
that
as the
reporter was
situation was to
rage-baiting.
people at the time, moments like this began shifting Adrian's public perception. He had been winning every fight, shit-talking his opponents, and bragging for so long that some of the audience started to root for him to lose.
But the one thing they love more than a hero is to see a hero fail, fall, die trying.
Oh, did I mention that AB is also a
Paul.
rapper? Not just from before his
I've never seen that.
boxing
I've never heard
career,
that.
but also during the peak. He even landed a collab with Soulja Boy and went on tour with Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz. From the videos of the tour, it looks like he had a super fun time. What he did not consider is that his next opponent was not on tour with Lil Wayne or 2 Chainz.
He looks
His
to be
name
more
was
of a
Marcos
rapper than a
Maidana.
boxer.
Some have argued that Marcos gave Floyd Mayweather the toughest fight of his career. And while Floyd did eventually win, Adrien Broner was simply not as good as his idol. In the lead up to the fight, AB was overconfident as usual, saying he would have no problem with Marcos whatsoever.
They want to see a knockout. Well, see, I got to give them the knockout they looking for.
But when fight night came around, AB was the one getting knocked down for the first time in his career. He credits this punch and subsequent fall with his lack of memory, saying to this day he can't remember several rounds of the fight. Because of the lead up to this, with an arrogant AB not really taking it seriously and then suddenly meeting his match, it marked a big sway in public sentiment. To this day, you'll find a lot of people saying how satisfying it was to see AB get humbled after years of bragging. To make matters worse, Adrien handled the loss poorly, as he immediately walked out of the ring without greeting any of his fans, literally crying on national television.
I cried for like 3-4 months.
Wow.
I'll catch myself just sitting there, just.
Prior to this, he had been able to win on raw talent. Now his ego had been shattered, forcing him to reconcile with the fact that he wasn't the best. If he didn't put his best foot forward, his legacy as a pro could be tarnished. And after this fight, things would just never be the same. Although he went on to win his next bout against Carlos Molina, the people had begun to turn their back on him a bit, or at the very least, they were seeing him differently, which is something he contributed to by doing things like racially insulting Carlos, which led to his suspension. To make matters even worse, around the same time this was going on, AB was being sued for allegedly leaking footage of him having intercourse with 2 women, and he ended up owing one of them nearly $250,000. Unfortunately, this wasn't the end of his extracurricular activities, as he had previously been caught on tape getting aggressive with a stripper on stage right after he randomly threw $15,000. It really seemed like Adrien was trying to spend as much money as possible and train as little as he could, at a moment when locking in was so pivotal to where he would be in the next few years. Unsurprisingly, it didn't take long for another loss, with Adrien later admitting he wasn't even trying to train in the weeks and months leading up to it.
This is the only one time ever in my career I bullshitted, and I never been able to forgive myself.
Although he was still a huge name in boxing and making millions of dollars a year, people slowly stopped viewing him as the future of the sport. AB's prime.
Now, by the way, like, his slacking off is different than our slacking off. Like, he's probably like just cutting his workouts in half. Like, instead of working out whatever 4 days a week, he's working out 2. Compared to like us not working out at all.
Time took his last breath in October 2015 when he logged in to fight for the super lightweight belt, which he won. It's precisely because he managed to turn his momentum around and win back one of his belts that he truly felt confident he could allow himself to do whatever he wanted and then just lock in again whenever he needed to reclaim a title. After his victory, he went right back to taking pictures of himself stepping on a bunch of money and throwing cash away for no reason at a strip club. It wasn't his defeats that did him in, it was his success. And after this victory, he began to completely fall apart. He still managed to win his next fight, but he wasn't allowed to keep the championship belt because he had failed to make weight. Regardless of his failure, for some reason, he decided it was time to call out Floyd Mayweather, his role model and friend whom he began turning on at this time.
He needed more money.
And I will never let a man disrespect me like that. So he gotta see me. I don't care if we spar or we fight. Let's get it on.
I remember this.
While AB claims that Floyd had disrespected him in some way, Floyd responded in a pretty dismissive manner, describing AB as an alcoholic who was hurting himself.
I want him to continue to go out there and fight, win. And what's important for Adrien is not just winning, life after boxing. You know, that's what's very, very important.
You can really see how Floyd stepped into the mentor role, seeing Adrien for the troubled young guy with a lot to learn that he was, rather than the immovable object AB saw himself as. He didn't take the criticism well, instead opting to put out a diss track on Floyd. His ego was getting the best of him, as although he was a good boxer in his prime, he was never comparable to Floyd Mayweather. And the idea of them fighting, especially in the state AB was in at the time
like, you have all the success, but what do you do, right?
The call-out would have been like Larry Wheels fighting Stephen Hawking. Despite being on a winning streak during this period, by 2016, AB had an episode where he made a series of posts to Instagram, one of which included an image of a gun where he suggested he was about to take himself out soon, saying, "Sorry, I'm going home. I love y'all. It's unknown what exactly led to this happening, but it does speak to Adrien's emotional volatility during this time period. Slowly but surely, this would manifest in his gradual return to legal problems. Just a few days later, he was accused of choking out a waitress at a Las Vegas nightclub. Cops were called to the nightclub around 3:30 a.m. on Sunday when a female server complained that Broner put his hands around her neck and said, "I will knock you out." According to Adrien, he thought the waitress had stolen his bag, which he was using to carry nearly $300,000 in cash. He chased her down and grabbed her, preventing her from leaving and demanding she tell him where the bag was. But he maintains that he never choked her. As it turned out, his own friends had hidden the bag, and he was putting his hands on this innocent waitress. Although it seems his version of the story was accurate, given she never went to the hospital and he wasn't arrested that night, meaning he probably didn't choke her.
Y'all ain't taking me to jail, right? Y'all just gonna write me a citation.
The most you would get?
That same year, Adrien was also accused of pulling a gun on a man and violently robbing him at a bowling alley. The initial accusation went that Adrien and the supposed victim were placing bets, and by the end of the night, Adrien was down thousands of dollars. The victim then wanted to go home, and Adrien insisted that he stay and keep betting, but he didn't want to, so he left. Adrien then started stalking him outside the bowling alley, started punching him, and once he was on the ground, he got a gun out of his car to threaten this guy, knocked him out, and then robbed him. At least that's what prosecutors were alleging. While the case was ongoing, AB clearly wasn't taking it very seriously, as he once showed up to court 3 hours late. In retaliation, the judge held him in jail for 30 days for contempt. Luckily for Adrien, the robbery-related charges were dropped after the witness failed to show up to court, giving him yet another chance to turn things around. Perhaps if he had taken it, and today would be living in a much different timeline. Instead, the troubles just kept piling up year after year. In 2017, AB was the target of an attempted murder.
So we're still 9 years left of stuff he's been doing. Oh my God.
And funnily enough, when the cops showed up, they arrested him. Supposedly, Adrien was at a nightclub in Kentucky when he got in some kind of argument with a few people. After he left, whoever they were fired shot after shot into his large white SUV. He was lucky to be alive, but he just kept driving without a care in the world. Once the police were called, they went to talk to him about what happened, where they discovered he already had an outstanding warrant for his arrest for not attending court back in 2014 after he was extremely drunk in public. As for the attempted murder, AB speculated that the assailants wanted to rob him for not hanging out with them. He also suggests something was done in retaliation for the shooting.
I bet they can't shoot nobody no more, or shoot at nobody no more.
Okay. We're not going to get into that part of the story.
Yeah.
I already see where this is going.
We'll never know the full truth of the situation as AB refused to cooperate with law enforcement. What we do know is that this brush with death was not enough to stop the killdozer he was running through his entire life. In September of 2017, Adrien Broner was caught on camera going on a violent rampage in Las Vegas, during which he punched one man unconscious and shoved a woman to the ground. According to an interview, this happened because this guy had approached Adrien aggressively, touching him and his jewelry. When comparing his words to the video, it seems more like AB was already crashing out for an unknown reason, as he was yelling and shaking his arms up and down the strip until he found this guy and sucker punched him. While the immediate aftermath showed AB clubbing and having fun, after he sobered up, it seems he realized the damage he was doing. He posted publicly saying, "I know I got problems. I just want help. Just want someone to talk to." Many speculate this message was a cry for help to Floyd Mayweather, who may not have been helping him out during this time. But it was too little too late. After being taken to court over the incident, AB's attack was found to be unjust, and he was ordered to pay $4 million to the guy he knocked out. While he could roll with the punches when it came to blowing $1 million in a weekend with his friends, $4 million lost while his career was already in decline was a serious shot to his finances. It's at this point that Adrien's public reputation shifted from that of a boxer to just a straight-up crash out, a fate that he clearly didn't care enough about to change. Just as 2018 began, Adrien was already facing yet another charge: misdemeanor sexual battery in Atlanta for allegedly grabbing a woman's crotch. When police took him into custody, he was clearly drunk, and they speculated he may have been high as well.
I ain't do nothing to that girl. She just mad because I ain't talked to her, bro. Mad because I didn't talk to her.
The cops ended up interviewing witnesses where it was stated that Adrien had just groped a woman he did not know out of nowhere. While this specific charge was eventually dropped, just 4 months later he was involved in another incident wherein he was accused of pinning a woman down and forcibly kissing her at a nightclub. The consequences of this incident continued to haunt AB for years, as he was ordered to pay $830,000 to the victim when he failed to appear in court. Somehow, this still wasn't enough for him to turn turn things around as he refused to pay up, and he got arrested again. There were also some other minor incidents. I'd like to introduce you all to Dr. Andrew C. Caldwell. He's a social media influencer who claims to have given up his formerly sinful homosexual lifestyle in the name of the Lord. He went viral more than 10 years ago, thanks to a recording of the very moment the thug shake demons left his body.
I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. I don't like men no more. I said I like women.
Well, Mr. Caldwell here tried claiming that AB tried to flirt with him to pick up what he was putting down, so to speak. AB was not pleased, making a special announcement to the LGBT community.
If any punk ass come run up on me, trying to touch me on all that gay shit, I'm letting you know right now. If I ain't got my gun on me, I'm knocking you the fuck.
This apparently caused Mr. Caldwell to fear for his life, and as a result, he filed a restraining order.
I will love a woman.
He was also failing to improve his life in other ways, as he was arrested for violating his probation when he didn't attend his scheduled alcohol treatment meetings. With all of these legal cases stacking up, paired with his extremely expensive lifestyle, you can imagine his wallet was seeing some strain. This is made worse by the fact that he had accumulated, and no, I'm not joking with this number, 10 children with 6 different women to whom he owed over $17,000 a month in child support. While we're counting, that's $1 million every 5 years he has to pay. As these expenses were piling up, AB's boxing career was seeing a real decline. He was fighting less often than ever and only won 2 out of his last 6 fights. The final significant boxing match he had was against one of the greatest ever, Manny Pacquiao, which now stands at 54 million views on YouTube. In the lead up, AB was already very much in character.
Like me.
But do you think...
I'd beat your motherfucking ass, man. You worry about Floyd. He already beat you, brother.
Do you think they're underestimating you? Because they're talking about a rematch.
I remember this.
I'm talking about rematches.
Yeah,
you got to get past me first, big feet, motherfucker.
But this kind of thing only really works if you win, and if you lose, it completely backfires.
It was a bad
Despite
loss.
putting on a pretty good performance, especially considering all of his personal struggles over the past few years, Adrien simply wasn't good enough to beat Manny, as he lost by unanimous decision. While in the past he was known to brag, this time he took on the role of a sore loser, declaring after the fight that the victory should have gone to him.
What did you think about the...
I'll be back. Okay. All right, I'm back. Let's finish up this video, man. Okay. Might be.
What did you think about the fight?
I beat him. Everybody out there know I beat him. Everybody out there know I beat him. I controlled the fight. He was missing. I hit him clean more times. I beat him.
Just by checking any comment section on any video related to this fight, it's clear that AB became the poster boy for the cocky boxer who doesn't actually respect and care for his profession and gets punished for it in the ring. And while he went on to lose again, no defeat was quite as devastating, mainly because past this point, none of his opponents could hold a candle to Manny's star power. In a way, this was AB's biggest fight ever, and for the majority of it, he was fumbling around while Pacquiao punched him in the head and millions of people cheered. Sadly, this failure once again failed to instill discipline, instead leading to increased spending, drug use, and personal torment. In May of 2017, he once again took to Instagram to suggest he was about to do something irreversible. I don't want to live no more. Demons are taking over me. I want to kill or be killed. Thankfully, nothing came of these threats, but I don't doubt that Adrien was legitimately struggling during this time, especially after having such a strong start to his career to now be faced with the consequences of his own actions.
Okay. Most of the challenges you face in life are mental. Like, for example, the thought of something is more painful than the thing. For example, like, I was watching a video of a snake and a cat fighting or whatever. And I'm like, I could imagine getting bit by a snake. And I could picture it and feel it. And I'm like, yo, if it bit me, oh my God. And you like get the irk, right? And that feeling, and it never happened. It felt like I got bit by a snake. So it's like mental, bro. So just really train and build a stronger mental is going to be very useful.
after he probably thought he was untouchable at just 20 years old. Must have been a brutal reality check. He was becoming more well known for his controversies than his actual boxing skills, and the controversies were getting increasingly absurd.
I guess you had a DM bad baby, not knowing that she was actually 16.
Yeah, man, it's been 15 for 8 years, man.
That same month,
That's
he was on
crazy.
Instagram asking his fans for $10. I'm sorry I haven't been posting on social media, but I'm going through some tough times at this moment. If you can send me $10 on Cash App, I will appreciate it. Support me, and I fight for you. When asked about this bizarre request, this is what he had to say.
Why would a millionaire do that?
Because I'm being me. I want to thank everybody who cashed out some money, too.
Can you say how much you got Cash App altogether?
I got a bankroll, too.
In February 2020, he was arrested for misdemeanor trespassing at a boxing match, and a month after that, he was arrested for a DUI where he was caught sleeping in his car in the middle of the street. All of this just goes to show how far Adrien Broner had fallen from grace. Meanwhile, he became an increasingly unreliable narrator. Sometimes he claimed to have a $50 million 5-fight deal and an offer for nearly $7 million for 3 fights. Other
Can we
times he would
appreciate the details this guy put in this video? He put so many details, like from the Reddits, from the clips that he found, and damn, he really put together a very awesome video.
ask his fans for $50,000 for a neck bone implant, linking people to a GoFundMe. The story surrounding this neck bone thing is difficult to find information on, but it has been briefly referenced in his more recent streams, and the topic clearly makes AB uncomfortable. So I'm guessing he just scammed people and got some money out of it. Although Adrien did have 3 bouts after 2020, to most people, he had become a joke, a shadow of his former self. They kept tabs on him just to laugh at his posts. For these past few days, I have been fighting against myself, and I found out how tough a task it will be to beat me because I ain't going. I just gotta cut off all my vices. I have quite a few, and I look at them like cancer because yeah, one day I can cut them out, but they can always come back more effective than before and be the cause of my death, or be the death to my gift and talent God gave me. These are the things I suffer from. Alcohol addiction. If they don't got what I like, then I like what they got.
Yeah,
Sexual temptation. I will f a pumpkin pie out of pumpkin if there was a pussy at the bottom of it. Gambling.
That
We
is
can bet on
crazy.
anything, and I will be down with it no matter if it's who can spit the furthest. Hell, I'll bet I take more today than your newborn baby because in my eyes, any bet is a great bet. While honesty is the best policy, all these posts did was further solidify that for all intents and purposes, Adrien Broner's career as a semi-elite boxer was over. But maybe he could be something else. Enter Dean the Great. Dean is also a boxer, albeit his record is mostly made up of influencer fights. After all, that's the reason he was able to go pro in the first place. Much like how AB heavily capitalized on the niche of young aspiring athletes in the early 2010s, Dean has put out several videos that have gotten over 1 million views, all consisting of amateur boxing. Having randoms box each other is pretty much always going to be mildly entertaining, and from there he transitioned into influencer boxing, fighting 6 times on Misfits, the most popular YouTuber boxing promotion in the world. But as influencer boxing died down, it didn't seem like Dean was really pursuing the pro boxer route as much as he could have, instead being far more interested in content. He began streaming in early 2025, although he struggled to get any real fan base. Sure, it was fun to see Dean beat up random unskilled street fighters on YouTube, but seeing him in social settings was pretty mundane. His most popular clip from this era is him putting his arm around Aiden Ross's girlfriend and pulling her in, to which she just sort of gets grossed out, and that's it. But the one other clip that made the rounds really sets the pattern for what we can come to expect from Dean. At a press conference for Aiden Ross's boxing promotion, Dean randomly assaulted another fighter named Adam Sala. It's not known why Dean slapped him at all, but Adam claimed it was purely because he...
Crazy thing. I don't know if you made it the song in the video. Adam Saleh, he has my last name, or his last name is my first name. But crazy coincidence. Me and my dad, or his dad and my dad were partners in business back in Brooklyn. My dad told me Brooklyn, I think. But yeah, they were partners for a brief moment, not too long. They had a little partnership, I think, for a few months, which is crazy. They had a store together. And then I think it got burned down. I think it was the store that got burned down. And then my dad moved out of Brooklyn. And yeah, which is crazy. Crazy.
He wanted a viral clip. And the thing is, it actually worked. But this single slap didn't really grow his audience. It just got him clipped across Reddit, Twitter, and YouTube without any real benefit to him. If he wanted to grow his own brand, then he had to do something to keep people's attention. In February of 2026, Dean found himself doing a video with Larry Wheels, a bodybuilder and powerlifter with over 3 million subscribers. Initially, the stream was going completely fine, and Dean was even somewhat likable, but it all began to fall apart when Rampage Jackson joined in. At some point, Dean began to compliment Larry's wife, and by that, I mean he asked her for a hug in what I guess could be described as making a move. He then went out of his way to insult Larry and his relationship, humiliating him until Larry decided to fight back.
His wife up for grabs. Hey, he's been mad disrespectful. Hey, did you get the, Larry? Did you get the address? Listen, you ready from 200 Griffith? Oh!
Man, I just nigga, you know this nigga ain't just slap me, bro.
Yeah, man.
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
No.
That's crazy.
On one hand, maybe the slap wasn't necessary.
Wait.
At the same
We're watching an Adrien Broner video, and now we're talking about Dean, but I get it. But I forgot for a second, this is an Adrien Broner video. But we can see how, like, the two worlds met eventually. He's talking about Dean, like, briefly, though.
I don't know why Dean is so bent out of shape about it, considering he had just slapped Adam Saleh.
Yeah,
it
that's
seems
true.
he's just not used to being at the receiving end of his own behavior, especially coming from a dude as huge as Larry Wheels. After the incident took place, Dean was still sore about it, even saying that he had been traumatized.
My jaw hurt. I can't sleep on my face. This shit traumatic, and y'all don't understand. And I come on here that's vulnerable to y'all.
This was probably exasperated by Rampage continuously making fun of him for getting smacked for a bit after. What's bizarre is that Dean continued to complain to both Rampage and Larry.
Here's the thing. I don't think... So, Rampage... He was making fun of that dude that had, like, a big chest or whatever. And that dude was getting under her skin. Or Rampage was getting under his skin. I don't think people get under Rampage's skin. Only Rampage. Like, anyone will talk smack about Rampage, like, he wouldn't, like, let it get to him, except when it's himself. Like, for example, he's doubting himself in a fight. Let him be like, it's like his inside voices will beat him more than the outside voices, which is crazy. So he was doing that to Dean, and Dean just couldn't take it.
About the situation, although I don't know what exactly he wanted to get out of them.
I can't eat. I ain't sleep all day. I ain't eat. I ain't sleep. I can't do shit, bro.
We're gonna make it right.
I'm emotionally distressed.
We're gonna make it right.
I'm sick.
Let's talk. I'm
I ain't got no appetite.
Listen, what did you expect when you came at my wife like that?
Slap me, bro.
What did you expect when you came at my wife with that disrespect? What husband would take that shit in front of his wife?
When Dean randomly slapped Adam Saleh, he clearly thought it made him tough. Then, when someone much bigger and much more intimidating than him does the same thing, he wants to talk about trauma and lawsuits. Now, as you probably noticed, at least some of these events feel pretty scripted, so much so that it ends with both of them hugging it out. But as soon as they do, Dean then tries once again to offer Larry's wife a hug.
I think it's funny. He's so funny. Come on, man. He's so funny.
The degree to which this whole thing is pre-planned, it doesn't really change the fact that Dean was clearly bothered by the optics of it. To put it into terms you Zoomers may better understand, he got bogged violently, which matters to him deeply because his whole shtick is being a tough guy to other content creators. Naturally, in the immediate aftermath of the slap, Dean went on to antagonize pretty much everyone he came in contact with that he thought he could take. The first target was this random guy who was being completely friendly.
Oh, come on, man. It's all about love. All you need is love, my man.
I for sure run your pockets.
I don't know you though, man. I'm Chris, man.
Don't shake my eye. I'll run your pockets though, for real.
No. What do you mean by that?
Don't get me getting slapped on camera. Don't get that shit. I'll run your pockets.
Yeah, I got you.
For sure. I'm like, you know.
Okay, yeah.
But clearly this guy wasn't going to get confrontational, so Dean just kept on looking for someone to fight. Eventually, he found what he wanted, but it didn't go his way. You see, Dean thought that this guy right here was just Rampage Jackson's manager, so he started treating him like total shit.
Nice to meet you, bro. You do know who I am. I don't know why you lying.
No, I don't.
You definitely know who the I am.
No, I don't.
Yes, the hell you do. You probably just don't like.
Yeah, actually.
You the manager, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did we meet?
I don't know, but we know mutuals and so don't act like you don't know me.
No, I don't know you.
You definitely know me.
What he didn't know is that this guy is Khalil Tiki Gozan, a former MMA fighter who trained with several world.
There are two definitions of knowing, right? He, like, one guy is saying, I don't know you, as in, like, personally. Like, I haven't talked to you, I haven't got to, you know, feel us out in our relationship and vibing out and communicating, all that. And another guy's like, yeah, you know of me, which is Dean. Dean's like, you know of me, I'm famous, whatever, da da da. Got the manager and this and that. So that's where the two are like talking about that. So then it got heated.
Champions. This wasn't just a random old dude. This is like pissing off Uncle Iroh. And Dean made a big mistake in angering him.
Are you the guy that got slapped on video?
I did, but I'll slap the shit, you know.
Oh, you will?
I'm going to show you the inside of the house.
I'll make you another clip. Don't do that.
Seriously?
Don't do that.
Unlike the Larry Wheels situation, there was absolutely nothing to even suggest that there was something scripted about this. And you can even see the situation go down from Rampage Jackson's perspective.
Why? Why? What did he do? What did he do to you?
Talk shit.
All right, let's go.
It really seems to bother Dean when people aren't scared of him. And he should have taken a hint when Tiki, who's much older, was clearly unconcerned and didn't even see him as a threat. This clip got so much attention that even Joe Rogan saw it. Reacting to it on his show is a classic case of annoying streamer gets what he deserves.
Don't do that.
Oh! That's crazy.
But some of these streamers, man, they make their whole career out of doing stuff like that.
You have to be a special kind of unlikable for people to not just have indifference to you getting beat, but to actually take pleasure in it. Dean was so hated that Dana White himself, the head of the UFC, posted the clip on his Instagram story. Meanwhile, a video compiling all the bad things that had happened to Dean that week got over 2 million views and 72,000 likes. It also included a clip of Dean failing a backflip after his pro debut, which is pretty funny.
Let it show, my man. Kim, you must be delighted with that.
Damn.
Re-uploads of Dean getting rocked got hundreds of thousands of views every single time, while his own stream failed to grow at all. He was averaging less than 300 viewers by January of 2026. People only cared about Dean if he was getting some perceived karmic justice. At least that was the case until he made a new friend. At the start of 2026, Adrien Broner was suffering with symptoms. He was averaging thousands of views every single time, while his own stream failed to grow at all. He was averaging less than 300 viewers by January of 2026. People only cared about Dean if he was getting some perceived karmic justice. At least that was the case until he made a new friend. At the start of 2026, Adrien Broner was suffering with symptoms of depression. He was staying in bed for days on end, not training, ruminating on where it all went so wrong. But in mid-April, he got connected with Dean the Great. AB had been Dean's favorite boxer growing up, and he was a pioneer of mixing the sport with YouTube content 10 years prior. So it was a kind of full circle moment for Dean's career. He went live while training with AB, not only to breathe some life into his online career, but also to help Adrien.
I ain't gonna lie, you know, Soulja Boy, you know you my brother. I love you to death, but you ain't did this yet. We be the first ones that's about to train and take shots at the same time.
Ain't doing it.
DAP. Drink and punch.
Just looking at Dean's YouTube channel, the video prior to streaming with Adrien got 20,000 views, like even though it stars Larry Wheels, one of the most famous fitness influencers of all time. Meanwhile, the first video with Adrien Broner got 250,000 views, more views than Dean had gotten on a video in years. Both of them really had...
Here's the thing. So Larry Wheels' audience are more serious dudes, right? They're like that dude that punched him. And probably not. Probably like less serious than that. And they're not in that street kind of thing, right? Whereas Adrien's audience is that street kind of vibe, you know? Their background is way more closer to Dean. That's why it fit. This collab fit so well. And where Larry's didn't, you know, they're more mature, serious, this and that. And these two dudes are the same. That's why this collab like works.
Nothing to lose, so they were free to be as funny or annoying as possible, depending on how you look at it. The caveat is that they were drinking the whole time, which on one hand did make the stream a bit more entertaining, but linking substance...
This video has, in 13 hours, 200,000 views, right? Lil Baby, the rapper, has a viral song, allegedly. It's been viral lately. Called Dead Fresh. In 9 hours, 200,000 views. That's crazy. This guy, that is crazy. So this is Lil Baby's viral video, viral song lately. and has 209 hours. This guy has 213, this is viral right here.
Use of any kind with your income can be a slippery slope. Both of them were equally interested in getting drunk, so it comes as no surprise that things went wrong very quick. The same month that they started working together, they went to a club, where AB immediately got into a confrontation with someone for reasons even Dean didn't understand.
What's all that gangsta about?
No,
Huh?
shit. Don't touch me now.
What's that gangsta? What's all that
good.
gangsta?
No worries.
Stop touching me. What's all that gangsta shit about?
Security intervened eventually, and the man AB was pressing de-escalated by telling him he was a fan. But for some reason, this still wasn't enough. If security hadn't been there, I honestly think they would have dropped this guy. The same night, Dean also got in 2 different altercations. In the first, Dean randomly butted
He's not in jail.
in after a group of girls asked some guy to take a picture of them. He took the girl's phone from the guy who was holding it and then threw it at him while walking away.
What's wrong with you? Don't put your motherfucking hands on me. No.
I'll be good.
No.
Jim, put his hands on me, don't get
No.
It's interesting that AB's confrontation was face-to-face with a guy much bigger than him, and even then, he didn't necessarily escalate, telling the guy to not touch him. Meanwhile, Dean picks a complete random to be hostile to, and then throws a phone at him when he's got his back turned. A phone that didn't even belong to the guy, by the way.
I'm doing that. No, bro.
Like 7 properties you're gonna get kicked banned from.
As for the second altercation, while at a party, Dean got in an argument with YouTuber Omer Majid. It's not clear why it escalated so quickly, but out of nowhere, Dean started wailing on him. I think he was insecure after being slapped so badly by Larry and elbowed by Tiki, so he just redirected his anger to anyone he thought he could take. It's honestly shocking to see how little time it took for Dean to go from genuine boxing content to trashy IRL streaming. Like many content creators of his type, Dean was invited to Matan's podcast. If you're unfamiliar with Matan's content, he's basically a well-known rage baiter who brings people on to troll them and see how they act. I think Dean was unaware of this fact, or he thought he could mess with Matan, but whatever the case, it didn't work in his favor.
You wanna find out?
You get slapped by people.
I don't get slapped by. Dig what I'm saying? I got slapped. Under a small circumstance, I got slapped by. That was 400 pounds. You dig what I'm saying?
You were out to sleep.
Ain't nobody go to sleep. I got back to put a belt on him. You ain't gonna slap me.
Why would I slap you?
Exactly. So what we talking about?
Few people have taken Matan's bait as eagerly as Dean, and honestly, it's not as if baiting him was really necessary considering his history of threatening people over nothing. Partly, it's why he's famous at all, so he's incentivized to continue, but it's also just who he is as a person as well. His bad behavior is essentially reinforced by the people watching him. Next up on the list of increasingly ridiculous targets is none other than Baby Alien, a streamer with progeria. Dean ran his usual routine on him as well. This was then followed by Dean confronting some girl who pushed his face back.
Hey, what the f you doing?
Oh, she mushed him.
Don't put the hands on me though, Rich. No. Cause I'll slap the f at you.
As well as yelling at the guy who was recording her while she did it.
Get up there. Clout. We gonna give you clout. Get up there. It wasn't for you. It was for get up. Yeah, no, get up there, man. Get up, gang.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm Nigerian.
Hey,
It honestly gets pretty boring really quick because all these people do is walk around and play confrontational while talking over each other. In a lot of cases, it's not even worth it to try and guess whether it's real or staged because in either situation, it's just low quality clout-seeking behavior. Adrien Broner can be pretty funny, but even he can't salvage this. Worse yet is the fact that AB wasn't just being absorbed into the trashy nature of the streams in the sense of entertainment, he was actually suffering the physical consequences of hanging around Dean, which included him drinking way too much and puking in the car. In a clip that's even more sad, at one point, AB was on stream asking for Dean's cameraman to pay for his Uber because he couldn't pay it himself.
You want me to let him know?
Or you can get it back. I'm gonna make sure you get it back.
I don't got bread. I came with Uber, yeah.
That's
crazy. You get Uber?
Do I have Uber? No.
Yes. Let me start recording that.
I got you.
As sad as this is to see, ultimately, Adrien is an adult capable of making his own choices. If he wanted the streams to be focused around healthier things like exercise or boxing, he could do it. And as we're going to see in a bit here, the audience actually prefers that content. Instead, he's decided to join the ranks of streamers who are paid to self-destruct their lives. Many of the Dean and AB streams come to similar endings, with AB nearly unconscious, drifting off into a drunken stupor, puking, or drooling on himself, as Dean and the other people around him do nothing. What's even more concerning is that although the alcohol doesn't affect him the same way it does Dean, it still makes AB an extremely unpleasant person to everyone around him. In one of the clips of their stream that popped off, Adrien can be seen shirtless with his gut hanging out, pulling a woman toward him to kiss her while she's clearly resisting the entire time.
Now say about it.
He is totally unfazed by her resistance, and after she gets away, he goes on to shake his pregnant gut at the camera. In another clip, when a girl that's sitting next to AB gets up to walk away, he taps her on the butt unprompted and then gets up to follow her. When spoken to directly, the girl says she's leaving the place and that she deserves some kind of apology from AB, as being drunk wasn't an excuse to touch her.
I really hope he apologizes because I know he's drunk, but being drunk doesn't excuse your behavior.
And on top of these more recent incidents, we know that Adrien already has a history of allegations and rulings, including a civil suit that ended in a default judgment with an $800,000 payment to the victim. Unfortunately, this clip of Adrien actually generated a big debate, with one reply actually saying, maybe don't wear shorts where your ass is half hanging out. What did she think was going to happen? I didn't think this was a real thing anyone actually thought or said. I thought this was like a meme thing that people said that other people said, but hey man, here we are. Thankfully, there were a lot of other more sane replies calling out how stupid
where people are literally over consuming, overstimulated, over everything to the T, you know what I mean? Consumer, like, as in like chasing the high, chasing the dopamine, whatever. Bro, you're gonna get something crazy. You're gonna get something out of control, right? So
take was, if it was your sister, cousin, or mother, y'all would take this seriously. You don't get to dictate if someone feels violated. She could have been naked. She still couldn't be touched without her consent. Clothes, lack of clothes, or no clothes, keep your hands to yourself. Most importantly for today's story, the AB incident got a reaction from Dean the Great himself, who said, "A gang, delete this." Ultimately, no charges were pressed, if they even could have been, so this whole thing just faded away within a few days. But it does set a bad precedent. At the very least, AB should not be drunk around women, because this could have gone a lot worse. Meanwhile, when Dean gets drunk, he just shouldn't be around people or streaming in general, because he likes to take a different set of liberties, usually being overly aggressive to people who won't really fight back or are at a severe disadvantage. For example, here's him picking up and threatening 3-foot-tall influencer D-Lo. Another target of his was streamer Stable Ronaldo, who was at an influencer boxing event when he was suddenly approached by Dean.
What are you talking about? You were talking, I seen a clip of you talking crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, making sure. I'm talking about, what's the clip? I seen a clip of you saying something.
You get your back, bro?
Of course.
Yeah. I got you here.
Ooh. How you doing, bro? I'm confused with the clip, though. What was the clip? You say I'm referencing slap. How did it go? Let me show you. I just remember. I remembered your face in the clip, and it wasn't positive. So we're not doing this, y'all.
It's honestly embarrassing to be this hostile towards someone who's not really confrontational whatsoever and isn't trying to intimidate you. But unlike most of the randoms who get on Dean's stream, Ronaldo has his own thing and is capable of actually suing Dean if he were to assault him. So obviously nothing comes of this confrontation. Despite acting otherwise, Dean is actually very selective with the people he seriously confronts. So much so that he can barely hold this kind of energy even for a drunk, washed up Adrien Broner. On multiple occasions, the two have ended up in a conflict with each other, and every time, AB can basically be as disrespectful as he wants, going as far as to spill his drink on Dean, as well as pushing him and yelling at him, and Dean won't do anything back. Reason being, he needs Adrien Broner. In January of 2026, Dean was averaging about 250.
Okay, they need each other, because with each other, they grow like crazy, because yeah, they need him and he needs him, because it's like the core gang, you know, the core YouTubers or AMP or whatever. When they're like together, they just pop off, like they grow.
50 live viewers on his streams. By March, he was up to 500, but the same month he met AB, he almost cracked 7,000 monthly. He is completely dependent on Adrien Broner, and as a result, he reserves his more aggressive demeanor for midgets and the disabled, non-fighters, and for some reason, women. During one stream, he starts accusing one of the girls in his entourage of being underage. Obviously, an underage girl being in their streamer van would pose a serious threat to their career, so his solution was to leave her on the side of the highway. He started starts crashing out and berating her and anyone else in the car who isn't on board.
That's a red flag. That's 3 red flags in the span of 10 minutes.
21.
She gotta go. No, we're not doing that. She gotta go, bro. Straight up. Because we make too much money and we too up.
And while he's yelling, one of the other girls in the car shows him something on her phone that supposedly proves the girl being kicked out is 21. But at that point, Dean had already made up his mind.
We out. She
Hey, bro, you guys are weird as f. Leaving on the side of
I
the
don't give a
street.
gang.
While this instance didn't become more serious, another one did, and it concluded in him going to jail. We have the footage of at least part of it, and much like the other instance, Dean suddenly decides to kick this girl out and pulls her by the arm while insulting her. While nothing too serious takes place on camera, the arrest report says that the reason for her being kicked out was because she was talking to other guys besides Dean. You may be confused because she is not his girlfriend. Well, apparently Dean had an agreement with her before he invited her on the yacht that she was not to entertain anyone else but him. And because he caught her having a conversation with AB, he kicked her out.
I told you it was cracking. Get out. Go home. She out.
This guy is really weird, man. I don't know. He's got some problems.
Yes.
The report states that after she was kicked out, Dean tried to take her phone by grabbing her arm so as to prevent her from recording what was happening. According to the information published about the case, the owner of the yacht Dean was renting provided CCTV footage to the police showing Dean putting his hands on this girl multiple times while trying to grab her phone, resulting in a struggle which was qualified as felony strong-arm attempted robbery. While he was arrested, he was bailed out almost instantly and went right back to business. Clearly, Dean's arrest and general lack of concern with staying out of jail wasn't a wake-up call for AB, who just a little while after the arrest was crashing out at the cops. They had been called after someone filed a noise complaint, which is understandable given that AB is extremely loud and obnoxious. And when the cops showed up, he just sort of reaffirmed their point.
Bro,
bro.
Adrien Broner has a history of getting arrested, right? This dude hangs out with Adrien Broner. Now he's getting arrested. Like, just that's a perfect example of you are who you surround yourself with. So,
Yo, bro.
hopefully they can get it straightened out.
Yo, bro. What y'all make a year? I spend on socks.
They could be like still entertaining, but like, you know, just don't get arrested, bro. Don't, and you know. There's some boundaries.
Can't help but see the irony in AB calling other people broke when he was begging for $10 on Instagram literally weeks before this clip. It's important to acknowledge that not all of the public reaction to AB and Dean was negative. While there definitely were a lot of people who were just watching to see the trash fire, a noticeable chunk of viewers were actually rooting for AB to get back in shape and return to boxing. A simple clip showing Dean and AB doing jump rope, where AB is clearly performing better than Dean, got nearly 5 million views, without having to resort to any degenerate behavior at all. I guess it's not that surprising considering the caliber of athlete AB actually was, regardless of who he became later on. This was more clearly manifested in the most famous clip of AB by far, when he's demonstrating a pull counter to Dean, and despite being out of shape, it's pretty spooky how quick he can still move.
Doing that. I ain't even doing that. Hey, you.
This is the difference highlighted anytime you see them train. Despite Adrien Broner spending the last decade being an alcoholic crash out, his thousands of hours put in training when he was younger made his boxing ability instinct. If he truly wanted it, he probably could get back in shape and maybe even get a low-level fight of some kind, even if it's influencer boxing. Dean, on the other hand, is an oversensitive bully who uses his barely existent record as bragging rights and his aggression to put down anyone he feels slighted by, whether it be unassuming MMA pros, normal friendly people, or people who are literally 3 feet tall. Anytime they lock in for sparring and you check the comments, everyone is shocked by how Adrien transforms into a completely different man. Watching them train almost feels like watching Creed. An old retired champion trains an up-and-comer and rediscovers his love of the sport while helping this younger man. Unfortunately, real work is always a flash in the pan, as they always default back to their usual pastime, getting drunk and yelling all day. Both of them once again managed to find themselves at odds with women and aggressively arguing with them in the most obnoxious way possible on stream. They also do get some interesting stuff out of the collabs they do though. For example, they had Dave Blunts on one of their streams, and it shouldn't be a shock to anyone what became the topic of discussion.
Oh, tight. What the fuck? Fuck. Fuck. Fuck.
This is ironic, of course, considering one of the things AB went so viral for recently was his physical.
This video is hilarious, bro. This guy making this video, he is Anytime Adrien Broner is not humble, he humble.
Decline, and specifically his very pregnant physique. Now, earlier with the Matan interview, I mentioned that no provocation is necessary to set Dean off and make him hostile. And this stream with Dave is a perfect example. If you see the rest of the stream, Dave doesn't say anything at all to slight anyone. He just sits down and has a conversation. But even his peaceful demeanor did nothing to stop Dean and AB from roasting him endlessly. Another collab from this time was AB going on Matan's podcast, which not only got more views than Dean's solo episode, but it also went better as far as the quality of the conversation.
Why do you think haters like Dean want you to quit drinking alcohol when it actually makes you much smarter and stronger?
Now you actually good ass.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm on your side.
Adrien Broner is more famous than Dean Gray. Adrien Broner has like almost stamped his legacy in like history, right? Boxing is bigger than streaming, which is weird to say. For like worldwide, at least. Who knows if that's going to be the case in the future? But when Adrien Broner is involved, Dean is going to get the traction. Okay, I'm not saying that Dean separate is bad, Adrien Broner separate is better, and without Adrien Broner, like he's just a catalyst to anything that Dean does.
Now you asking great questions.
They also did a few collabs with some legit UFC fighters, and the comments immediately reflect how much people prefer this kind of content over the usual stuff. These streams are way better than the party streams. Probably the most entertaining version of AB when he's locked in giving advice. More boxing videos, less drinking videos.
I seen like the highlights, and I'm like trying to figure out like how the hell does Adrien Broner really like, you know what I mean? But I realized like that like twitchiness, that skill, he's been boxing since he was 5. So it's definitely a harder sport to get into than like a lot of sports, because you just have to be doing it your whole life.
It's like a regularly scheduled program at this point. Every few weeks, people are reminded that AB could actually make decent content if he just focused on his craft instead of doing the useless.
Yeah, like if he focuses on his creativity, but he's not, man. He's
crap he does all.
That's the creative part about him, is him being him. So if he changes up a little bit of who he is, tries to force something, I don't think we'll get this. We'll get this kind of content
Day. And then
I think though, he does need someone there with him that does kind of influence him or kind of entertains him in a way.
he goes back to doing the
That is like not gonna make him do something
useless
off the border kind of thing.
Crap. Another notable collab from this period is when AB and Dean went on Kai Cenat's Streamer University. Once a female streamer called Yana greeted them, they started acting really strange.
My name's Get her. She said, "How are you guys today?" I ain't never heard of it. That girl asked me how my day was. Y'all talking about she 19. She legal.
She, her 19 has to get. She old enough.
Hi, how are you?
What are you guys going for? Can I ask?
How are you?
A 19-year-old.
Unsurprisingly, these comments made her pretty uncomfortable considering she had just met these guys for the first time. This situation once again brought.
I think the issue though, like Dean has, I mean, I'm not trying to say he like, oh, you got issues, bro. No, like, he just assumes, like, and I might have this problem too. Like, I see this person online. You build like this fake relationship, like as if you know them and they know you, and you talking to each other, like, you know what I mean? Like you're, you know what I mean? Like you're there and they're there, and you guys been chatting it up. When Yana's is her first time ever talking to these people, and these people are talking to her like they've met her hundreds of times.
The previous instances
Same thing happened with that dude that actually punched him, which is crazy.
of how creepy AB and Dean are to the surface. There's entire compilations of it. For Adrien in particular, I think his behavior towards women speaks to his psychological state. There was a time when any girl he was around probably did throw herself at him because he was surrounded by yes men, groupies, and prostitutes at the peak of his career. Now he can't cope with a girl denying him and constantly disrespects their boundaries or gets emotional when rejected.
Maddie. Let's kiss for the chat.
not considering.
That's crazy.
I'm not doing that.
She gonna be I leave though.
No, don't say that.
Your C word.
Nah, I don't play with women. All that playing, I don't play with women.
Bro, he looked like he just woke up out of bed.
Man, gang. I'm really him, bro.
I am a fucking architect.
It happened again when AB and Dean had a model named Amber Rose on their stream, only for AB to instantly offer her $1,000 to have sex with him. He was rejected and then started a prolonged mental breakdown.
Like, you gotta take you gotta take an L when it's an L, bro.
No, I don't take L's. And I don't take elbows.
Their consistent lack of self-control was also hurting their future opportunities, as when they finally sat down with Kai Cenat, one of the most popular streamers in the world, he denied them more collaborations unless they turned things around.
No liquor, no lust,
Okay.
no nothing.
All right, bro.
Take these right here, and I'm gonna be hawking to see if there's change.
Okay.
All right.
So we not denying.
So we deny it or we not denying it?
Kai Cenat, he's the most serious about his craft, and he does really good with that. In the sense of, like, I think this is all he thinks about, bro. How can I really make some content and, like, be unique? And this is all he thinks about. All the time, I think. All the time.
We're not doing it.
Online application, I wanna see change.
This moment perfectly summarizes why these guys are capped in regards to how far they can get. Regardless of who they collaborate with, they just end up doing the same things over and over. Getting drunk, creeping on girls, almost fighting people, and actually fighting people. They behaved in the same way when they landed a collab with Clavicular, who at the time was punching way above their weight class when it comes to online relevance. This did not matter to them at all, as they proceeded to be hostile towards him for no reason. Likewise, they once managed to get rapper Trippie Redd on their stream, but instead of capitalizing on that and trying to make some content, AB just started gambling. Dean tried to get him to stop, and then the two had a fight.
Get off me.
On camera, no for real though.
I ain't playing with nobody. Don't touch me, bro. I'm serious, bro.
These arguments were getting more frequent and petty as well, going as low as them arguing over paying the bill for the food they ate. Judging by how pointless, inconclusive, and random these arguments became, or how regularly they were crossing the line with each other, many began to wonder if their partnership was on
They're friends, though. Like, if you're not friends, you're not arguing like this, I guess.
borrowed time. But this isn't to say that there were no positive moments on their streams. For example, AB recently had 2 of his sons with him, and Dean has often celebrated how far AB came, going from having no motivation to do anything to making some decent money on stream and getting his own kick. But whenever they're not busy with things like kicking people out of their car or just being a nuisance in public spaces, they turn the drama inwards and begin to fight each other.
Or what? I'm not gonna you at all.
Oh, that's cool.
Partly, they're like this because AB knows Dean needs him to do what he does online and get the viral clips, so he can almost act as shitty as he wants. Dean is willing to take it because for the first time, he actually has a pretty big audience, something he traded boxing for entirely. Adrien is still mentally dealing with the end of his career, almost 15 years after his peak in the sport. He was trained by his father to keep him out of trouble, and for a time it actually worked. Boxing gave him discipline and purpose in a way nothing else did. But once his ego was broken publicly for all to see, he began a cope he's been using ever since. Instead of training and risking failure, he coped with drinking, drugs, women, gambling, spending, really any distraction. Throughout it all, he convinced himself he was the best. But the world stopped buying into his delusional confidence once the results were no longer there.
I'm really him, bro. I don't care how beautiful a woman is, none of that, bro. I make my own millions.
While it's good that streaming has given him some consistent income, at the same time, it's clear he has some serious personal problems he needs to sort out, or he's gonna end up right where he started in 2026, depressed and regretful, thinking about what could have been. I've been Turkey Tom, thanks for watching, and until next time, leave me alone.
That was a good video. That's a good video. Let's go over like quickly what they're talking about. Turkey Tom is the kind of guy to smell a pie and start floating to it. Bro, these guys are hilarious. Oh, what this guy's talking about. We gotta watch this guy next. I cannot fathom being that rich and stupid enough to waste it all. Yeah, bro, 50 million? Oh my god. Into the roast of Dean mid video, yeah, for sure. Begging for money on social media when your Cash App name is about billings is so ironic. That is crazy. Dude definitely has CTE. His father messed up his life the minute he allowed him to start taking blows to the head as a child. Yeah, that kind of sounds about right. But the I don't know, man. I think Adrien would have been doing that anyways. Absolute worst people to hang around with. Yeah, it's kind of tough for majority of the people. Majority of the people is gonna have a hard time hanging around this kind of group. What's Marlon doing? Oh, he's doing this 20v1. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's about it.